Hello, my name is Brehon and I would like to welcome you back to the channel, where not only do we talk about great stocks, but we also talk about great books. Let's talk about short selling. Now, a short seller is someone or some company that borrows the stock, then sells it into the market, hoping that the price drops so they can buy the stock at a much lower price, profiting the difference. Now, they are obligated to buy these shares of stock back. Now, for example, if a short seller borrows the stock at $30, sells it into the market, and the price drops to $25, they will profit $5 for every share purchased. Now, when short sellers perform this trade, they are pessimistic when it comes to the stock. They truly believe that the stock will continue to decrease in value, thus increasing their overall profit. Now, what happens if people come in and start buying the stock? All right, so people are buying the stock, and you have short sellers that are shorting the stock. So they're hoping the stock is going to go down, and you have buyers in here coming in, increasing the value of the stock. Because again, every time stock is purchased, it's supply and demand. So every time stock is purchased, it increases the overall value of the stock. Now, that $30 stock is worth $31. That $30 stock is now worth $35. And now the short seller who was hoping that the stock would go from 30 to 35, 30 to 25, are now in a position where the stock is now $35. So now they are at a $5 loss, right? So what happens? People continue buying the stock. Now the stock is at $40. And what happens? These short sellers are in a position where now they are $10 in the hole. Should they continue holding, hoping that the stock will go down, or will they just sell their stock? Okay. And remember, it's all about supply and demand. So the more people buying the stock, the more value, the more the stock price will increase. So now, once these short sellers come to the conclusion that they're just going to give up, they're going to give up their position, they're going to buy back their shares. So now you have the retail investors, they're buying shares. Now the short sellers, they have to buy shares of the stock. And what happens to the stock price? It just, boom, it just skyrockets, and the price goes up tremendously. All right, so that is what you call a short squeeze. Okay, and if you've been following the stock market lately, you've seen it happen with GameStop. And what's happening is these millennials, they're coming into these groups on Reddit, and they're these Facebook groups, and they're all talking about buying stocks and purchasing stocks, and they're looking at these stocks with the high short interest. Okay, now what short interest is, when you go to a look at a stock, and you can actually Google the short interest of that stock, and it would tell you about the short interest. So if the short interest is 10% or 20%, that's basically saying 20% of the shares that are afloat. That means shares that are actually being circulated for buying and selling. So 20% of those are being shorted. So they're basically saying that they're hoping that the stock is going to go down. But when you have a tremendous wave of people buying shares of a company, man, it's going to catapult that price, because the short sellers are going to have to sell. And then you creating these huge waves. It's just amazing. And it's an awesome strategy. So these millennials are really changing the game. And we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but these hedge funds and these companies that specialize in shorting companies are going to have to change their strategies, because these millennials are catching on. And it's a beautiful strategy. You find a company with the highest short percentage, and you tell all your folks and your buddies and your friends, and you tell the millions of people across the world to let's go buy into this stock. They go buy into the stock, and the short sellers get squeezed out, and the stock price just booms to the top. Man, it's just a beautiful thing, and I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to be here for it. I mean, this stuff didn't exist years ago, but it's here now. So you have a decision to make. You can jump in, ride the waves, or you can just sit on the sideline and be a traditional investor. Okay, neither one is wrong, but just remember, when you plan the game with these short sellers looking for squeezes, there's an opportunity that you can make a lot of money, and there's an opportunity where you can lose all of your money. Okay, look, that's all I have for today. I hope I added a little bit of value to you, and if you like the information, you can give me a like. If this is your first time checking me out, you can hit the subscribe button. Hey, and keep coming back for more wealth building information. Peace.